Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to more things that drive me crazy at record stores. Yes, I love going to record stores. I know you guys do too. It can even be called my happy place. And when things that screw with my happy place, I don't like that. There's plenty of things that go on at these record stores that just make the experience not so enjoyable sometimes. And so for this, I'm going to run through more things that drive me crazy about record stores. And we're going to get into that here in just a bit. But before we start, if you're new to my channel and haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like. All those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, if you turn on notifications, you're going to stay up to date on really cool videos just like this one here with more things that drive me crazy about record stores. Let's get into it right now. All right, so here is a typical factory sealed CD. You can see that the edges are folded over on it. Sometimes you do get the ones from the factory and they are just a regular kind of shrink wrap. You can see at the corner there's no folded edges or anything like that. All right, so I did manage to find one here that appears to have been re-shrunk wrapped by a store or previous owner of this, maybe even before they sold it to the store, but you can see sort of how messy the shrink wrap is and the way that it's done, not like the way that we saw with the Who. That's a very cleanly done one. We also know that because if we look at the other ones from Def Leppard, the company does the typical folded corner shrink wrap versions. So when I find one of the albums, same label, same production, everything done like this, that is how you would be able to tell the difference between a factory seal versus one that a store or previous owner sold. All right, so you just saw how some of these stores will sell re-shrunk wrap things, meaning that they're not really new. And that can lead to, when you open them up, to there actually being some damage to these things that you didn't know about when you thought you were buying something brand new. And that leads into the next thing that I want to talk about here, which is actually selling damaged product. And I know that it's not all intentional. Some stores don't really think about it, or the person putting it out says, you know, this might be the only way someone can get it, so we're going to put it out there, and if they're okay with it, they'll pick it up. I do get that. But as a collector and as somebody who is very particular about it, it drives me nuts when I find the album I'm looking for and then it's got some damage to it, and I have to decide whether to buy it and for that damage to bug me, or in fact to not buy it and pass it up. And so one of the biggest things that drives me nuts is the sun bleaching on spines. And so I'm going to show you Skid Row Subhuman Race, and you can see how nice dark red the logo is there. We flip it to this side and you can see how faded it is on this one. And sometimes it is just the color that happens to under regular lights, but sometimes it's really bad. I'm going to show you this one here where it is a dark sort of orange, maybe even a red, and we flip it over here and it's a very light orange, almost pink color. And so, you know, that always drives me nuts when that happens. There's other ones like water damage. I really can't even fathom that sometimes when I pull out a disc and you see the wrinkled paper that is just, something has clearly happened to this, and yet they put it out on the floor. And the nasty, you know, cases sometimes, that also drives me nuts. Smoke damage, you pull out a white booklet and it's got rings of yellow on it from where the smoke has soaked into it. Bent and damaged covers from whether they're in cases or just poor handling or what it is, and especially when it comes down to Digipacks and stuff, those get beat up so easily. And then things like taped corners on records. Why would you even buy that and put that out on the floor for people to potentially want to buy? Could there possibly be an album that is worth owning that has tape on it? I don't know. I don't get it. I question that. Just lots and lots of things like that really kind of drive me nuts about damaged product being on the floor. So I showed this one, talked about it a bit last time, but it's worth mentioning again. Got the price tag on the outside like you'd expect on any regular CD. It is an open one here. When we open it up though, we get another price tag on the inside of it stuck to the booklet, which of course makes it very difficult to get off. Now, as someone who really likes
music and new music from my favorite artists. I want those new albums as soon as they drop. So Friday is release day. It actually used to be Tuesday years ago, but you go into a store on new release day and the stuff isn't out on the floor. It's like, how can that be? People are coming in looking for that stuff, and you know you're going to have the diehard music fans, and then they act like it is the biggest hassle for them to have to look for this and go find it in the back and bring it out. And what's even worse is when they say, sorry, it's not out yet, you're going to have to wait until we do that. And I'm thinking, why are you turning down sales? Why are you pushing people away? Those fans that come in looking for that stuff are the diehard music fans, the ones that are going to keep stores like that afloat. But that does happen, and that again is one of my biggest pet peeves. It used to happen a lot when there was bigger stores, more corporate style stores. A lot of the independently run stores are a lot better at it, and I have to give them a shout out for taking care of us music fans. Another thing is when you're going through like used stuff and you find one that has some damage to it, like those sun bleached copies or maybe water damage or something that I talked about earlier, and you go up to the front, you ask one of the people working there if they have a better copy of it in the back, and they kind of give you, smirk, or they give you, make an issue out of it. It's not that they don't. They just don't want the hassle of having to go in the back and check the back stock to see if they have a better copy to sell to you. They're sort of like, why isn't this one good enough? And, why do I need to explain what it is? If you got another copy, let me see what that is. But there's that kind of stuff. And that leads into the next one, which are the music store personalities. You get that person that is an elitist that thinks that whatever you're buying isn't good enough, isn't their kind of music. I used to get this a lot back in the day with glam metal, and not necessarily want to go up when I saw that there was some, cool alternative rocker guy that I knew was going to smirk and laugh at what I was buying. Today, I don't care. I'm proud of what I listen to, and I'm going to keep doing it, and it doesn't make any difference. But, that was a thing back in the day. You get the other people in there, the personalities, the people that just seem to not care about music. And I'm thinking, why are you even there then? And what's even worse is the people that are in the store that actually don't know anything about music. When a music store hires just a random person to put in the store to work, and they don't know who certain artists are, major artists. That stuff just kind of irks me when I actually know more than they do. Of course, I'm a diehard fan, and you guys know from watching my channel, and 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to know more than they do. And I've kind of come to that realization. But back in the day, there was plenty of people that should have known more than me, that I ended up knowing more than them. And it was sort of like, what are you even doing working in a record store if you don't like, music or know anything about music? And another thing here is just, stores that really can't seem to accommodate all the stuff that they got. And you're going around in it, you're walking through it, and the stuff is just billowing over. And I wouldn't even know the first place to look. There's so much stuff in the store. And, some might say, well, that's great because there's tons and tons of stuff to go through. But if I can't find a genre or an area or a beginning of a section or an end of a section, or it's not alphabetized, or there's 10 different places to look for the same thing, and I don't know the store, that's not a very enjoyable experience to go through. And I would rather the store be organized and sort of clean in the sense that the stuff is easy to get to and I'm not reaching over or having to ask for stuff that's too far away to get. Just lots of things like that. Always kind of stuff that I think store owners should be thinking about, before just piling and piling and piling things up. Because that's when you get into the hoarder territory, when it's so crazy, I can't even get around it.
All right, here's a classic one that always bugs the hell out of me. The things are packed so tight that you can't even get in to really see what's what that's in here. So basically what I have to do in these situations is pull out the whole front of this stuff just to be able to get through it and really see what is in a section, which kind of bums me out that I even have to do it. I mean, I guess having that extra product is where it's at, but if it fills the section so much that we can't get to it, then sort of what's the point?
All right, music stores, they should be playing music, right? But when the music is too loud in there to really enjoy, I mean, sometimes speakers are so close to the area that you're looking through music in that it's actually not enjoyable at all. It's fine if I'm all the way across the store, but sometimes that music is right there. It's blaring in. You guys have seen it in some of my Let's Go to the Record Store videos. As I get closer to them, it gets so loud. Sometimes it even fuzzes out from the mic on it just being so loud. Now, imagine that in your ear. And it's not even necessarily the kind of music. I mean, yes, if they're playing death metal on it or something like that, regardless of the volume level, sometimes that can sound too loud. But it really doesn't matter. Sometimes it's this weird avant-garde stuff and it's just so loud, making the whole experience not enjoyable. All right, next thing up is, music that is so dirty, I don't want to touch it. I mean, the number of times I've come out of stores after flipping through it and the tips of my fingers are just dirty, black, grimy, or I'm going through sections and there's dust and dirt in it. And it's just like, why is nobody dusting these or cleaning the bins or anything along those lines? I just always kind of, wonder why you would have whole sections like that aren't taken care of in a store. I get it. It doesn't have to be clean like a Target or a Walmart or a Costco or something. But still, it's music. Have pride in it, right? Us music fans take care of our stuff, and stores that we're purchasing from, I think, should be taken care of as well. All right, and in closing here, I thought I'd do a little public service announcement. So, when you're done looking at stuff, put it back. Don't misfile it away because you got the music fan that comes in and I'm looking for something and now I can't find it because it's not under the section anymore. So don't just randomly throw things back. Actually go back to where you found it, put it away. And if you can't remember, give it to the store clerk. They'll put it back for you. They'd rather it be in the right spot too. And if you're one of those ones when as you're flipping through CDs, everything has fallen forward, push it back for the next guy. Don't leave them all falling forward like that. It's nothing that irks me more than walking into a store like that. And hey, store clerks and people that work there, push them back for all the people that are coming back in. I know you might not want to, but it does make the experience that much better. All right, so there you go. There was a bunch of things that continue to drive me crazy at record stores. Like I said, I'm sure you guys have your own things. Feel free to comment, leave a list below of the stuff that drives you nuts. And hopefully these things are going to start to get better. Probably not, right? But we're still going to go to the record stores. We're still going to enjoy it as much as we can. All right, everyone, take care. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.